opportunity. It's not often that we get a group of drivers all from the one organisation together at the one time, but because of the juggling of the schedules due to the COVID-19 pandemic, here we are on the eve of a truly historic, not just double header, but triple header with NASCAR Xfinity, the NTT IndyCar Series, and of course NASCAR Cup, all at the famed grounds of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway this weekend on 4th of July weekend. So super exciting. We want to welcome not only you, but welcome the group as a whole. Joey Logano, who, by the way, drew the pole position for Sunday. So we'll deal with the NASCAR side of things first from the Xfinity group. Austin Cindric is here. Welcome, Austin. From the Wood Brothers, of course, the technical alliance with Team Penske, Matt DiBenedetto. Matt, welcome along. Brad Keselowski is here. Ryan Blaney is here, guys. We'll switch over to the IndyCar side. Joseph Newgarden, the two-time defending champion. Will Power, that's the reason we're late, by the way, folks. Will lost the link, so we can give him grief about that a little bit later. And, of course, the reigning Indianapolis 500 winner, Simon Pagenaud. Simon, I want to start with you. What's it like to win at Indianapolis? You got yourself on mute. There you go.
That's how you get to start the race.
There you go.
It's obviously it's awesome to be with all of you guys. We get to do a lot of media stuff, but this is fun to do it with the fellow Penske drivers. This is recent. We don't get to do this often, so this is pretty cool. It's obviously this place is a legend. It's incredible to come back here every time and think about the memories. Power. Yeah.
Keep going.
Okay. I didn't think you could hear me. So
here we go.
Yeah, I'm excited about coming back, and obviously, it's been a long time with that racing, so I'm excited to come back. And come back at the Speedway is very special.
Will, how about for you? Come on, finish that mouthful.
What would you ask me when you saw I was eating? No, look.
Because of that reason.
Okay, good deal. Yeah, I mean, it's phenomenal to win the race. That was the question, right? What's it like to win?
The race? just Indianapolis as a whole. You've run on the road course. You've won the 500. Just winning at Indianapolis, it's got to be amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's a home of IndyCar racing. Obviously, the facility and the track itself is like no other place in the world to race at. So, for me, the highlight of my whole career was winning the 500. Absolutely. It's just an amazing, everything I thought it would be. Perfectly clear day in there, victory lane, wife's there, my brother came. Just an amazing experience. So, it just makes you want to do it again. Like, you think you're going to think back for the rest of your life to that day, and it always brings a smile to your face. It's just a fantastic experience. There is no event like it.
Brad, for you, not only giving the team its first NASCAR Xfinity Series win at the Brickyard, but then winning the Brickyard 400 a couple of years ago. I know how much you love the history of the sport. That one's super special, isn't it?
Absolutely, Leigh. I love your background, by the way. The hotel looks really comfy. Yes. I was trying to figure out where Will is. Is Will at Team Penske? Where are you?
It's my bus, man.
Oh, this is your bus? It looks like Team Penske. You got like the white on the top.
Yeah,
and like,
no. It's got the squares and everything.
RP would be very proud of this. Very proud.
I built it with him in mind. I did. You know me. I'm always trying to make the boss happy, and he's like,
I do.
If you came in, you go, Power is definitely Penske material. So if you came to my bus, go Power's. Now you've got a chandelier in the background, so
that's not me. That's my wife. My wife has all the style in this house, in my life in general.
Yeah. Well, that's
got all
real
the taste.
Penske material in itself. Like, I was thinking about putting a chandelier in this bus, and my wife's like, it won't fit. It'll just be in the way. I said, it doesn't matter. Roger will love it.
Have we already gotten off the rails?
No,
We're just, we're all trying to up our game. I haven't been to the racetrack. But I've heard about like Victor Lane is now on an elevator. I've heard the bathrooms are nice. I don't know what to expect. But I'm told that Indianapolis is now going to be the Augusta of the North. So we'll see. If there's one person I could believe it, it's Roger Penske could do that. So,
well, I'm going to go to the bathroom here real soon, and I'm going to do you guys a video. We could even do it live here. Just go and do a tour.
No.
Not me going to the bathroom. Me going into the bathroom to say, look, this is what Roger has done. I tell you what, that's going to make it worth just coming to the Speedway in itself.
How about you record that and put it on Instagram later?
Well, I'm going to. Yeah. I'll do it on Instagram. I won't ruin your party here, Lee. Jeez, come on.
Hey, speaking of cool background, Ryan was showing us a dog and a cow, etc. before. Ryan, speaking of the captain, what did you make of it when Roger purchased the Indianapolis Motor Speedway? What were your initial thoughts?
Yeah, well, I'm outside because that's the only way I can get service to do this. And yes, my neighbor has cows, so you might hear them. But I mean, when I first heard Roger bought, IMS, I mean, it just fits, right? I mean, it fits great with, he grew up really loving that place, and obviously the history behind it, and the history behind he running there is it's pretty incredible. So I look forward to seeing it. I've seen a lot of photos of some of the renovations he's done, and I'm really looking forward to getting there Sunday morning and looking around a little bit and see what he's done. So it'll be good.
Matt, you got to run the road course earlier this year. Of course, a lot of excitement surrounding the Xfinity Series running on the road course. What was it like? What was it like driving a stock car around the Indy road course?
Well, it was I'll tell you what, it was a pretty cool feeling going in there and feeling like I had the place all to myself, on the racetrack and driving the road course. I'm like, that is pretty cool. I'm first guy, stock car around the Indy road course, and it's just us out here. So that was a kind of a weird, cool feeling in itself. But track was super fun. Actually, it was a blast. And it was neat to see kind of how good of a race it'll put on, because there's some great passing zones, and I felt pretty honored to be able to test that out and try it for the guys and the Xfinity guys running. I'm pretty jealous. Obviously, running the Brickyard 400 is cool enough in itself. It's amazing, but I'm just jealous of the fun factor that they're going to have wheeling it around that place. It was an absolute blast driving it.
This weekend is all about the blend and the crossover, Joey. Between having the two categories of the sport that we love at this famed venue at the one time. Brad tested an IndyCar a few years ago at Road America. Would you ever be open to testing an IndyCar on an oval or a road course?
I would preferably a road course, because those guys look like they're going way too fast on an oval. But it was cool. When we were at the Roval last year, Newgarden was out there in his IndyCar and made a few laps on the track that we were running that weekend, which was really neat to see it. I've actually never seen an IndyCar race in person, because we were racing all the time. So we've never really been able to line up and actually see these things. So that was the first time I saw an IndyCar go by. And I remember Blaney and I were standing right at the start finish line. And that's not too far off of where we left to get on the brakes. And that was right about where Joseph grabbed another gear and kept on going. I was like, oh my God, he's going to crash. This is lap one. He's going to crash. So it's just kind of crazy to see how much more grip those cars have. It's just a different style, different discipline of racing, which was really neat. But to be honest with you, Lee, I've been kind of distracted because I think Brad was opening like an Amazon package behind you or something. What? Brad, what are you doing?
He's just wandering.
Eating, he's unpacking stuff. Look at this guy. With his chandeliers.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking the same.
That's from Kathy Penske.
Yeah, Mrs. Penske sent me something for my daughter, and I was opening the package. Isn't that nice of her?
We got them yesterday too. For
Did
James.
you really?
Yeah.
You always beat me by a day. That's Joseph.
Just get used to it. It's okay.
Hey Joseph, this is a really special organization when you look at the depth of the family, right? V8 supercars to IMSA WeatherTech family to you guys. You excited about being with your Team Penske brothers at the Brickyard?
It's really neat to just kind of see how much Team Penske has grown since I've started here. When it was just a 2-car Cup team, a few Indy cars. Now you're talking IMSA teams and supercars and Xfinity cars, and it's just so much and so many more drivers, which has made this a lot of fun, to where we can do things like this. And basically, for the most part, anytime you turn on TV and you see a major series race going on, there's a Penske car in there.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of fun that, we're all working out of, a shop in Mooresville, and you kind of have that team environment, and really, for all of us, I think it, puts you more in tune with other types of motorsports, which is, to me, has been eye-opening, because I've always had the tunnel vision of NASCAR and stock cars, and it's kind of opened the horizon to watch other kinds of racing, and I've enjoyed that a lot.
Joseph, Roger, or Tim call and they say, hey, as a reward for winning your second IndyCar championship, you get to drive a Cup car and an Xfinity car. Would you take an oval or a road course?
Oh, an oval, hands down. I mean, I don't. It wouldn't matter. If they just said you could drive a Cup car, I don't think I'd care where we would go. But I would definitely, if I had my pick, I'd probably choose a place like Bristol, which I don't think would be the wisest place to go for the first time out in a Cup car, but it's the place I'd want to go. So that would be my pick. Any short oval track. I love watching these guys on the weekends that we're off, especially ripping around a short oval. I just have a total blast watching their races. So, yeah, if I had the chance, that would be my number one pick.
You'd have
okay, Austin, what we're going to do is we're going to start with you and go around the group. You have to nominate which one of the other team drivers would do best in a non-regular car. You can nominate yourself. I mean, you drove one of Mark Donohue's old Indy cars, didn't you? Once.
You're putting me in a tough spot here. I mean,
yeah, Austin, what do you think? Huh?
there's one over here that has a little bit of rally blood in him, and it's Simon Pagenaud. So I'll say Simon. Simon's not afraid to go out and slide around in anything, but I think we've all got some pretty talented guys on the lineup. But man, you put me in a tough spot there. That's not fair at all. But
yeah, Austin, what driver do you think is the best? Who's the best here? Who's the worst?
Who is the worst of the whole group? Like, if we were to pick someone who is the worst, like, I don't want to make anyone like feel bad, but I think we should all decide and vote on who we think the worst driver is.
The worst of what? The worst of what?
Here's what I can tell you. I can tell you the absolute best driver and the absolute worst driver who has ever driven an Xfinity car on the IMS road course is Matt DiBenedetto. He's the best and the worst because he's the only one that's done it.
That's right. Thank you.
Good call. That was a pretty good save.
That's good.
Pretty good save.
Give me another.
Ryan, chime in here. Who would you nominate to do one or the other? One of the NASCAR guys going to IndyCar, or one of the IndyCar guys going to NASCAR? Pick somebody who you think would do well.
Me? I don't know. I mean, what do you expect me to say? I mean,
would you like to drive an IndyCar?
I'd love to drive an IndyCar. I mean, I'd love to. Kind of going back what Joey says, I don't know. I'd probably rather do a road course than like a Texas oval. That's them guys are hauling the mail. But yeah, I love driving an IndyCar just to see what it's like. I think if you are in motorsports, you're a fan of different motorsports, and you want to learn and feel what those other cars feel like. What's the differences driving them. So I think you ask anybody, they'd love to go run, whether it's a NASCAR, Cup car, Xfinity car, IndyCar F1, a off-road truck. I mean, it's just you want to drive everything possible. But I'd love to do it one day. So I think we should do a driver swap, like NASCAR guys go run IndyCar at a test session, and the IndyCar guys go run Cup cars somewhere. I think that'd be really cool.
Definitely.
Not a test session. We want to go race.
Simon,
race.
We could at least have a 3-car race.
Yeah.
Simon, you'd be up for that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, like that they all said, I mean, we all races, and I think as long as they got 4 wheels and it's a big engine, we're all happy. So, my background, I've raced in Europe. I've raced rally. Rally is really my passion to begin with. And when I grew up, I used to drive on gravel roads, and I loved it. I love that feel. And, it's, NASCAR or whether it's IndyCar, it's just a lot of fun. And it's a different side, very different side. And quite frankly, just want to say here, like a NASCAR driver, it's their own specialty. They're exceptionally good at it. And, I have no pretension to think that I would be just as good just stepping into the race car. It's so difficult takes so much time to adjust. I have a lot of respect for these guys. What they do is pretty incredible.
By the way, did you see some guy, or some person, I think it was, on Twitter respond to all of the Team Penske promotion about about this live webinar, and they pointed out you and said, "Don't spill your macchiato."
Well, you know, I can do it.
What?
Hey, Brad's back.
Hey, I was just, thinking about this. I think this might be the first race weekend. I'm totally going to jinx this, by the way. This might be the first race weekend we're going to have in like 8 weeks of NASCAR, where there's no rain on the schedule. So I don't know. Maybe it's the IndyCar guys brought us some good weather luck. Thank you for that, guys.
I don't think it had anything to do with it. It's just really the makeup of the weather, and there's nothing to do with us, Brad. If you really
That's not how it works.
No, I've done study on it. It's absolutely nothing to do with it. If you go and speak to these guys who study weather their whole lives, they'll say human interaction has zero to do with. Well, if you believe in global maybe.
Okay, let me ask you this: what do the IndyCar drivers think about the vortex theory?
The vortex theory that we go so fast that it creates a vortex and then goes on to just wreak havoc through cities doesn't happen. Like, we've never seen that happen. So that theory is debunked too.
Does not work. IndyCar guys don't believe in the vortex.
The vortex doesn't work. It doesn't. I've never seen a tornado created by a car in my life. I don't think you might find on YouTube.
Spoilers not as big as ours.
Yeah. Now NASCAR could probably create a tornado. They're pushing some serious air. Let me tell you.
I just heard that it's possible. I don't know if IndyCar guys believe in it or not. I mean, I just
But
figured
what?
it was that.
Yeah, but what is the theory? What is the actual? What happens? What is the vortex theory? Explain it to me. I'd like to know.
Matt, go ahead. Explain.
What is it? What's the vortex theory?
The vortex theory is a Darrell Waltrip theory. It's a state of Tennessee theory. So Joseph Newgarden, you're getting roped into this. That if you put enough race cars out there going fast enough that it'll stir up the air, and rain showers will miraculously go around your racetrack and not hit you.
Oh, I can see that happened last year when we were racing, but it was on the road course. It was on the road course. It was like we had a strategy. We were going to pit early. It kind of ruined our whole race. And the engineer's like, no, stay out. Still, it's going to rain. It's going to rain. Like, we got literally with 10 laps to go and then it rains. So, yeah.
So you're a believer. You're a believer.
I'm starting to believe that.
But it can't be the vortex on the road course.
Darrell Waltrip came up with it. You've got to believe it. Darrell, he knows what he's talking about, man. He's been around a long time.
Hey Joey, is this the last season of the Penske Games? Is that correct?
I have heard that. So
is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I'm gonna go with a bad thing. I enjoyed it. I thought it was kind of fun. It was the hardest part was going home at the end of the day and telling my wife that I had a hard day at work. I put in the time today, and what did I do? Well, I put these drunk goggles on to where I couldn't see and played dodgeball with a bunch of grown men. That was my day. Or is it an obstacle course?
Let me tell you, the drunk goggles were doing the dodgeball with the drunk goggles were the worst feeling. Like you smack.
You guys don't usually do that. Like
you get smacked in the face so hard and you don't know it's coming. I was just like, it's just too. I don't like that. It was kind of like when we were doing those bloody boxes. Like you had the box, you didn't know what was in it, and you had to feel, and you're like, have they put a nasty rat in there with rabies, or is it just a brake pedal or something? And these are the things that go on in your mind as you're putting your hands in there. I mean, let me tell you, I said I'd never do that again.
I'm watching Sturgill here. Sturgill's having some fun with Blaney.
He wanted some loving, so
hey,
we're sitting outside. He's got a bigger head than I got. Holy jeez, he's
well, see, he's definitely got a bigger head than you got. I know about yours.
That's a happy-looking dog.
Simon, what's your dog? Isn't your dog attached to you?
I'm alone. The dog's staying home. So it's just me this weekend.
Oh, I see you're all shaved, man. Look at Simon's all shaved. What happened to the fabulous beard you had growing?
Man, Blaine is nice.
That beard that was not for you, Pagano. That beard looked like it was just not for you. You're not a beard guy. What's that? What did you say?
Your mustache, at least.
Probably, but no. I think your mustache suited me, man. Like your beard was like too thick. Nah, wife's shaking her head. She said the mustache was bad.
I thought the mustache was awesome, Will.
Yeah, I think I should have been allowed to keep that for the season. Just as just say, look, this is coronavirus, election year, coronavirus, mustache.
I just shaved my mustache off about 20 minutes ago, so I did it just for this. So you're welcome, Team Penske.
But Blaney rocked it for like 8 or 10 races.
I know.
Oh,
we had a mask on. You couldn't see it. So.
How many emails did you receive?
Oh, you can't say that.
Hey Joseph, somebody asked, was this some kind of version of Cooking with Keselowski when Brad was in the background eating before? Aren't you doing some cooking now? Aren't you doing some special cooking classes?
Yeah. So this is my special souffle here for those watching. It's called pot pie heated up in an oven. How am I doing?
It looks good.
Good.
It looks good. Yeah, I'm dabbling with the idea of starting a incredible cooking show to help people that don't know how to cook. I shared my gift of drawing, which I discovered about 3 months ago, and I may want to share my gift of cooking. So I have no idea, but I have an idea for a good cooking show coming up.
You been doing any more of those drawings? I sent you a good one, man.
Just privately, the buzz was so much online that I had to stop. It was creating a distraction for me.
It's too big.
So now I just do it privately.
So I see, Joseph, you had to be eating pretty good, because I think you're the only guy that was posting more shirtless pictures than me over the offseason.
Yeah, I have a quota. I've got to hit a certain number of pictures per month, just for my account. My account doesn't do well unless I put enough up there.
Hey guys, we're gonna run through some quick questions from the viewers, and I'll make it really quick, and I'll try and pick through as quickly as I can. Who is the best Penske Games player? Ryan, why don't you answer that one?
Oh, Ryan.
That depends. That depends what game we're playing.
What if it's ping pong, Ryan? What if it's ping pong?
What if it's ping pong?
The two best ping pong players spoke up, so obviously who's like the good ping pong players.
Which one's better? Is it Joey or Joseph with an F?
Yeah.
The American Joseph or Joseph with an F?
There's a lot of people here wondering where Brad went. Brad, where did you go?
Where did I go? I didn't go anywhere.
When you switched off.
No, I'm right here.
Okay. Joey, how does it feel to start this race this weekend from the pole?
Feels better than starting second, I'll tell you that much. Better than starting 40th as well. Indy is a track position race, and it's also a strategy race where a lot of things can happen. So, with pit strategy and being able to pit and stay on the lead lap. So, just like kind of Pocono last week, where strategy can turn one way or another, you never know what's going to happen. But starting up front, clean air is king. So hopefully we can have a good start and secure the lead. And
Simon, Valerie wants to know, is Norman there with you at the moment? Your dog?
No, he's not. He stayed home. I'm alone this weekend. So
unfortunately, they had to bury Norman. It was a UPS guy, wasn't it, Simon? I mean, it's terrible. Terrible news, but that's life. It happens.
I have nothing to say to that.
Here we go. Here's one for any of you to answer on the NASCAR or IndyCar side of it. What's everybody's take on Alonso? Is it good for the sport or is it a PR stunt? Take it away, whoever wants to answer it.
It's bloody good for the sport. We just want him to come on a road course. I think it's great that he's doing the 500. That's awesome. but I think we would love to see him compete on a road course.
Anybody else? Any other
I-
opinions?
I agree, and I just love that we've had 10 angles of Brad's kitchen. You know that.
Yeah, I
that's
kind of
been
see
entertaining.
that. I want to see that.
Beautiful house.
Austin,
show
who
the
wants-
I'm hungry, okay? I'm a pacer. I don't stand in one place. That's why I drive a car. I got to walk around. You know,
I actually,
Can we
I'm
do a
not-
version of Cribs at your
I
house, there,
think-
Brad?
yeah.
here's
Brad,
my
I wanna-
rocking clock. In case
Oh,
you want-
yes.
Nice.
Wow, there's Brad's clock. Oh, wow, I'm awesome. I have a Martinsville clock. So do I. So does Blaney.
Well, I got two.
Oh,
From your-
Next to it is this amazing sword.
Oh, I got one of those too.
Yeah.
What's the sword from? Where do you
Uh,
get the sword?
Winning Bristol, they give you a sword.
Oh my God!
even more reason to go there.
Or
Let me tell you, IndyCar needs to catch up on the whole trophy thing. Clocks and swords.
So here's
I mean-
the problem with the sword. Where do you put a sword in your house when you have a 5-year-old and a toddler? Got any ideas, guys? Because I haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah, in the closet.
Right on the mantle.
Send it to my house.
Hey, Brad, I think that you and I should start a podcast. I think it would be really interesting,
Oh, I do too.
just on different subjects. Doesn't have to
Like
necessarily be racing.
Vortex.
You're gonna
You
cover
and I
It's a
have-
vortex.
Will.
Yeah.
You're gonna cover subjects.
Many subjects.
That's
Me and
neat.
Brad and I. I think it'd be a great podcast.
What subject would you like to cover first?
Well, we'll probably start with politics.
No, I'm out. I'm out.
Global warming, these sort of things. Just
How about-
just kind of soft subjects. Yeah, nothing
Okay,
deep.
soft ones, yeah. How about like
Yeah.
the light of consciousness or something like that? Something deep.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm all about. Look, we're living in a simulation, Brad. We're living in a simulation.
I know.
Remember that? Like
Elon said it.
plenty.
Elon said it, man.
Exactly. This will be sort of this podcast. I think we should do it.
This is
Well,
the
What
one.
version of the simulation are we?
I think we're millions in. Like, because every time like the simulation gets to, we're going to get to a point where we create another one of these. So
Another
you know what I mean?
simulation.
Yeah.
Will
another
you have to
simulation.
explain the
Lee,
simulation?
Lee, you got to get control of this interview.
I'm
You can't
grabbing
let
it
these
back.
guys-
I'm grabbing it back right now.
Lee,
Hey, Austin,
come on, man.
People
Austin,
are
here's one
tasting
for
the
you.
podcast.
We ain't
Austin,
talking
here's
about the
one for you.
Matrix here.
The gentleman writes he's planning on coming to a race in the US after the COVID-19 situation settles down. Please convince me where I should go, NASCAR or IndyCar?
Ooh, I think that's a tough one. I obviously grew up an IndyCar fan, but I feel like if we have fans for the Talladega race in the fall, I think you can take anyone from any facet of the world that likes anything or dislikes anything and take them to Talladega, and they will have a good time.
Hey, Matt, this one's for you from D. Out of the rest of the group, it might even be you. Who is the worst street driver? Like just road car driver?
I'm gonna say that'd probably be Joey. Back in the day, we used to do some testing together when this was back in like 2009 and stuff. And yeah, Joey was a little hairy to ride with. I was surprised that he is able to drive race cars because his street. Yeah, I think he crashed a couple of rental cars. Times in his life.
I need a picture or it didn't happen, Matt. Where's the pictures?
I've crashed a few cars, but I never crashed a rental.
Okay, you just laid the bumper a few times.
No,
No.
that would be
What are
immature.
you looking at?
Yeah, true.
I would never.
Yeah, no, never. I made it all up. Joe, he wouldn't do such a thing.
It was chatty.
You know, there's a reason why they don't rent cars to people under 26. But
Yeah.
I had the exception. You know,
Now we're just old guys now. We don't do that anymore.
no, I don't now. No.
No, yeah, I literally don't. But
Now I was pretty stupid back in the day. I will say that.
There's some suggestions coming in for Will and Brad's new podcast. Topics like philosophy.
Ooh, yeah, I like it.
Brad, some people are wondering, do you have attention deficit disorder? But you're sitting down now. You're stationary now.
Yeah, I really don't like Zoom calls. So the Zoom calls are like the end of the world to me. So
about
I don't know how people are doing it right now.
4 minutes left. That's all you got to hang in there for. Hey,
much respect to all those people.
Ryan.
Much respect to all those people who are working remote and do Zoom calls every day. It drives me crazy.
What do you do then? If you don't Zoom, how do you talk to people? What are you doing?
I mean, I talk to people, but I walk and talk, so I'm getting things done. I got to multitask, man. I don't like only getting one thing done.
You need to walk and talkie.
I get serious.
Rebecca has just written in and said, Brad, try doing it for school. So
miserable.
Anyway, hey,
I don't know how you do it.
Ryan, an anonymous attendee says, Ryan, when are you going to cut your hair?
Whenever the barbers open up, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. I saved good money on haircuts 2 years. Pretty good. So actually, I'll probably get it cut next week. I just shaved, like I said, so I'm halfway there.
Either Joseph or Simon, which other track would you like to see at another triple header, Xfinity IndyCar Cup?
Oh man,
the Glen.
It'd be cool if we could all go to Bristol, but IndyCars just can't survive that place, you know. I wish we could all go to like Nashville or something, you know. That'd be cool. Like that'd be a great town to have everybody together.
Simon, what do you think?
Wow. Wow. I don't know, man. Long Beach?
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe a street course. Street course would be awesome.
How about NASCAR in Long Beach?
Yeah, that'd be cool. Or St. Pete or something.
Yeah.
We need a street course on the schedule for sure.
Think about coming into that final turn, that hairpin.
Yeah, I think a street course is a very good idea for the NASCAR. I don't know if you've seen our cars like maybe push through the garage, but anything that side of turn, like Long Beach, they literally have to like push the cars, back them up, and go again. You know, I always said if Cup ever had to run Monaco, we couldn't make it happen. You'd have to go down into the hairpin, drive in, back up, and go. So I don't think we
All right, before we wrap it up, we're going to go around the group. Joey, start with you, and we'll just work our way around. Send off on a positive with a message to the captain on this humongous weekend. It's going to be so exciting. There's so much. I was talking to some folks in Europe the other day who were just so excited about IndyCar and NASCAR being at the Brickyard at the same time for the first time. So, Joey, start with you, a goodwill message to the captain.
Yeah, first I just say congratulations on honestly, just it's amazing that he tells a story about how he went to that race with his dad at the most iconic racetrack in America or maybe even in the world, to watch his first race to come around full circle to actually buying the racetrack. Think about that for a second. What that story is. What a true American story, to where you just start from the bottom and work your way all the way to where you own the most iconic speedway. Are you kidding me? It's one thing to win all these, Indy 500s, championships and all these different types of racing in over 50 something years, but owning the racetrack has got to be the coolest thing. So I'm excited for him this weekend, just to get to enjoy that experience of what that really is for him, the full circle experience from
Austin.
Yeah, obviously it's going to be really special for me to be able to race on the same weekend as IndyCars with the NASCAR stuff. I think there's a lot of reasons that fans can be excited about it. I think it's a shame that the fans don't get to experience it for the first time, especially with like these guys have talked about the revisions that he's been able to kind of make his touch and enhance that quality. For someone who's going to the racetrack, almost every year of my life for the Indy 500, I'm excited to see that just as a race fan. So I know that there's nobody better to put on a race with all three series than a guy that has a car in each race. So I think all of us are pretty motivated to try and get him try and get them a win in each of them. And I'm excited to see what the weekend holds.
Matt, your message for the captain?
Well, it's been, I mean, it was obviously so amazing to come and drive the 21 car and have our, for the Wood Brothers, and have our alliance with Team Penske first off. And just when I thought that Mr. Penske couldn't get any cooler and has been one of my idols forever, then he goes and purchases Indianapolis Motor Speedway, one of the most legendary racetracks, which was pretty dang unbelievable. So congrats to him. It's so cool. I'm excited to be just a part of the triple header weekend, and can't wait. And I see Joey Logano over there laughing. I'm trying to make a message. What's going on over there, Joey? I'm sending a congratulatory message.
No, I'm sorry. Blaney's new background had me distracted. I was looking and I got distracted. I'm sorry.
Oh gosh. I was like, what's everybody laughing at? Oh man.
Simon, what's your message for Roger?
Well, I want to say similar to what Joey said. I think it's incredible, that story. Go as a kid with your dad and then buy the entire thing. I think it's amazing. But for me, it's a big thank you. I think it's for the entire racing community all over the world. This is a very special weekend. It's historical in my opinion. The fact that he was able to get the Speedway, get NASCAR, and all three series to run together in the same weekend, it's the first in a long time. So it's phenomenal. I expect a lot of new things, and I can't wait to see what the future holds and how he develops the future of the Speedway. It's quite amazing, and thank you for everything that he does.
Brad?
Well, you can't keep the captain down. They tried. He bought a racetrack, one of the best in the world, and in came a virus and all kinds of stuff. And guess what? He's still making it happen. Doesn't seem to matter. He's bigger than a test of time, bigger than a virus. And he managed to turn a virus and a kind of a global shutdown into an opportunity to do something no one else has ever done before, and run multiple series at a racetrack that I don't think I've ever done it before, like you said. And in the middle of all that, of course, he's got businesses to run, race teams to run. He's just truly an inspiration of what he continues to be able to pull off. So if I have half the energy and capabilities he has when I turn 40, I'm going to be proud. So, boss, I know you're probably not watching, but if you are, thank you for everything you do. We're proud of you.
Let's go to your teammate in the new K-Power podcast, Will.
I think the boys have said it all. He's an amazing human being, and I think as a series, and actually as as you think about the Speedway, I think we're very fortunate that he owns them at this time. And going forward, you can only see a really bright future for IndyCar, for obviously the Speedway. And I just think it's fantastic that he was able to bring IndyCar, the two series from NASCAR together to race here. So I really do look forward to the future to see what Roger can do when times aren't so restricted. And I think I'm just so blessed to have had a long career with Roger. I mean, you're just given the best opportunity week in, week out. You're given the chance to win championships, obviously the Indy 500, and I think motorsport is lucky to have had someone like Roger around.
Yeah, indeed. All right, that leaves us with the background, boys. Let's start with Ryan. Your message for Roger.
Well, I'm just a big fan of Joseph Newgarden, so I figured I'd put it up as my background. But it's just been really special to be able to drive for him. The last handful of years, and like these guys said, and just kind of echoing what they said, it's just very, it just comes full circle that he owns IMS now, and all the history he's had there and everything. So we'll try to do him proud this weekend for sure. I know, obviously us NASCAR guys and the IndyCar guys and Austin, the Xfinity car, it's a really big weekend for RP, but just been a pleasure to drive for him. And like I said, it's a big emphasis already on this racetrack, but now even more. And it's just amazing his work ethic and he sets his mind to something and it's going to happen. And like Brad said, I wish I can be like him now, let alone, you know, what he's doing for how long he's been doing it. So just a really special person, really privileged to drive for him.
Indeed. All right, champ, you get the last word. Joseph, unmute yourself.
That's a really good way to kick off the final word, is to be muted. No, I think everyone put it really well. You know, we've all been very lucky, I think, to be a part of the Penske organization and to, you know, get to know Roger a bit more personally. You know, and what I would say is thank you so much to what Roger is doing and you know, his team, and everybody that gets to interact with him and try and make a difference within, you know, his organization, within the world, but certainly within motorsports, with particular emphasis for us. I think we're all pretty excited about this weekend, and I'm sure a big part of that is down to Roger, you know, help putting all the pieces together. So my hope as a racing driver is that this is going to serve as a template for the future, where we can see this again, particularly in a time when we're going to have fans back at the racetrack, so that they can, you know, really be the winners of a weekend like this. So thank you to everything that Roger's done. He's an amazing person. We've got an incredible team around us, as you can see, great friends, and I think good competitors. And it's going to be an honor to be a part of this historic weekend.
Historic weekend indeed. Guys, all of you, thank you very much. Thanks to the folks at Penske, Team Penske PR for organizing this. And for all of you watching on Zoom and on Facebook Live, send the guys well wishes on their social media accounts. This is a massive weekend, whether it be Xfinity or IndyCar or NASCAR Cup Series. For all of us who love this wonderful sport of motorsport, we'll remember this weekend for a long time to come. And to Joseph's words, hopefully it's the first of many to come. So exciting times. And during this global pandemic, look after yourselves, look after your family, stay healthy, everybody. And we'll see you this weekend on NBC. We're going to have a great time. Thanks. We'll see you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Joseph. See ya.